Wipes in general, they were participating in the really bunch of already events, so a very experienced one. The youngest one, though, is the Anna Kistenfeinig. She is pretty new one, used to row as a junior last year. And we're accompanied by Alexander Förster, Lukas Schäfer, who used to be an Olympian, and Michael Benedict Remes, who is a commissar of the police back home.
And Alexandra Förster is also an Olympian. She participated in 2024. Their cox is Elisa Trog, who has taken a first place in the European Rowing Club Coastal Championships with Remmers and Trog.
And she already led the crew basically to the medal, because even it's a, you know, you're gonna see that it's gonna be very challenging for all the crews.
And Interstellar, what a name! It is an Italian crew.
Italian.
Yeah, with Felli, Mugnani, Bavazzano, Zerboni, who has the biggest palmarès of all. And their cox is Ilaria Columbo, who has been also quite successful at classic rowing.
The next team that on the list is the Israeli Rowing Federation. There are a lot of, let's say, newbies in this crew, but the one of the most famous Israeli athletes is for sure the Danny Friedman. And he used to already row in the coastal races, and now he brings just a completely new crew to this competition and tries to get them in this coastal vibe.
But it is the first time in a crew for him. Is a single sculler or a solo. He was here at the World Rowing Championship, the Coastal Championship in 2016, and their cox is Avi Romano, he's junior. Kangwa Wild Racing Cosmos.
Federico Garibaldi is one of the very well-known names in the coastal world, with a lot of World Championships title, but a bit more in the past. He is now working, so already a bit out of this high performance level, but nevertheless, as we saw today, he delivers still very solid results, and we are very happy to having him still here and, you know, to wipe it with us.
Yeah, and we have Baldo Ramella, who also has a beautiful palmarès, both in coastal and classic rowing. Ariana Noceda, and the cox is Raisa Sionico. She has been a coxer for a long time, but it's the first time here, and we are at 3 minutes from the start.
Well, another fantastic crew is the Kangwa Wild Racing Dynamo. And with Mathis Nottalet was third on the World Championships Beach Sprint Finals. Together with Annalisa Katerina, Megan Knight from Great Britain, and one of the most experienced coxes on the, with a very bright smile that is trying to blend all the other opponents, Peter Doyle, who already led so many crews into the medal position on the major international events.
Yeah, and Kangwa Wild Racing Galaxy with Melagari, the two brothers, Miniemi, Barrison, and the cox Fabio Siracusa, also plenty of medals for them, mostly in classic rowing.
They performed just so well last year. I think they finished up 4th or 5th.
2 minutes. We go a little bit faster here. Team Kangwa Wild Racing Celtic from Ireland.
It's a very young and very new crew from Ireland, with Adam Kenny, Kate Dunn, Jack Moylan, Gabriel O'Donoghue, and Shay Dunn.
The light boat, so unlucky this morning, with Nathan Puech, Antoine Lefebvre, Chloé Portier, Chloé Briard, and Alexandre Montbazet, who is a local who will be coxing them. Rubid Netti, yeah, we know all of them.
We already talked about
Robbers, Keizer, Van der Bij, Van der Meulen, and Femke den Berg as the cox. The son and daughters of the Thames from Great Britain and USA.
Very young, oh no, they are actually not so young. I'm sorry for that.
A very new crew, not a young
new
one.
Crew
And 1 minute from the start, it is Nicholas Young, Ruth Turnock, William Mucker, Janet Mackie, and Peter Henning, who has been rowing all his life. We have the impression when we look at this.
We will try to continue with the presentation a bit later. Let's just go and look for these final alignments before the start, because it's 1 minute to go to the highlight of today's day, to the quad race.
And 26 quad on this starting line. I really look forward to it. Also look forward to the design of the course, because they will come back to us. So stay on the dig. Look at the screen when they're a little bit further, but stay on the dig as well. You will see them turning just in front of us.
We have two very, let's say, favorite crews, the Team Rubinetti and Team Legends, side by side. I hope that they're not gonna collide same as in the mixed double, and they're gonna have just a most perfect race.
What is this boat doing there in the middle? Oh. It's they will start the race again. Stop, because there was a boat in the middle. It's a little bit a strange thing there. There is a red flag. They were there because it was a red flag. They were showing it. So I don't know why they had to stop the start. But actually, Yuri, that's good. We can continue with the presentation of the teams. Thank you.
So, the next one is the Swift Surf Riders, and this one is actually a composite from 3 nations, and one of them is Portugal, represented by Afonso da Costa and Patricia Batista, together with Gigamantes Galesanskis and Lola Garcia. All the athletes were competing at the World Championships in the beach sprint finals, so they already know how to row, and they well prepared for those conditions, for variable, very flexible athletes. So we wish them absolutely the best of luck.
Yeah, and also the cocks, Elia, Jorda, Clement will have a huge job to do here, because I guess they will be demanding on their cocks level. The Swift Regatta Rascals.
That is a Spanish crew, together with such legends as Anda Martin, Esther Zamorano, Terena Diaz Moreno, and Gonzalo Garcia Ferrero. And as we know that Anda Martin and Esther Zamorano already won the mixed double, Teresa Diaz Moreno just showed a very solid performance in the single, and Gonzalo Garcia Ferrero, he was, if I'm not mistaken, 4th or 5th already in the men's single too. So very decent crew, really the crew to follow, and yeah, best luck to them.
To all of them.
Absolutely.
We are just neutral. We just want beautiful racing. And they will have to restart, because there were more than 5 boats that were ahead of the line. So that's a mass full start. And this is why they start again. So, yeah, it builds up a little bit of the nerves in the teams as well, because you had this. I guess the ones who were just in front will have to be very careful. Now they know. But it's also the wind. The wind is blowing to that direction. So keeping the boat like that, it's also something you have to do.
Very hard to align the boats right now because of the wind, because of these little shakes of the wave. And don't forget that the boats, they're just so massive. And you know, there is a lot of really surface what can just, you know, push the boat a bit on the side.
Yeah, and a little bit earlier we saw the Rubinetti that were holding on one of the buoys, and that was just not to be pushed, but they can't all stay there. So let's continue with the Swift Riviera Rockets with Ben Mason, Finn Hamill, Lauren Henry, Caroline Florin, and Ryan Slater. What a crew. To have their palmarès, we need more than a page, huh?
We have you're absolutely right, because so well-known rowers in the classic rowing and in the coastal world. And Finn Hamill, as we already mentioned before, world champion from the last year, won this men's single today already. The Caroline Flora, and together with Ben Manson, they were already in the 2nd position in the mixed double. And and the Laura Henry, who delivered absolutely solid results also in the women's single.
Yeah, well, yesterday she was a little bit anxious for her first time on the sea, but she really enjoyed it. And what's also nice is that we have those two Olympic champions in one boat.
Absolutely.
And probably in 2026 they will be competing against each other in the women's single.
Wow.
The Swift Harbor Hooligans with Charles Cousins, Eva Karppinen, Jessica Berra, Vincent Noirot and Luca Perry.
Absolutely fantastic crew. Somehow I'm so much in love with a lot of those crews, even the composition of them. I think that those, let's say, team compositions are really unique one, and you cannot find in any other competitions anywhere in the world. And this is exactly what it makes it interesting, because Charles Cousins is from Great Britain, absolutely legend. Eva Karppinen, multiple European champion from Finland. Jessica Berra from France, you know, and Vincent Noirot. Really very fantastic people in the same boat.
And then people you must know better than others, the Team Austria.
Well, Chiara Halama, together with Henrietta Ringleb, Leopold Wiesinger and Norbert Dublinskis, and coxed by Teresa Pellegrini. To say so much about this crew is kind of a young crew, but already very experienced one, because Chiara Halama, as we mentioned before, was also a European champion back to 2022. And Henrietta Ringleb, who participated already with in so many competitions, coastal competition, traveling through Great Britain together with previously mentioned Charles Cousins through the coast, just rowing on different local and regional regattas. So absolutely well experienced rower.
Yeah, and Chiara, who now had a bronze medal in a new event, which is the inclusion mixed at the beach sprint.
Wow. Interesting, as always.
Aviron Monégo.
The local team, the local matadors.
Quentin Antonielli, Guillaume Blanc, Jeanne Roche, Marine Delanoë et Thomas Aubel. Also Olympians in this boat, and they know the water here. Keep your eyes on it.
I hope
Quentin
for them.
said that he has always been, since he rose here, on the podium in the quad, and he wants it again. So let's watch out.
I really wish it to them, because as we know that they struggled, they were penalized in the mixed double. Unfortunately, they just made a false start, so they got a 2 minutes penalty early this day, and that is why if they want to try to get into these leading positions, then it might be the only possibility for them.
Yeah, and we're back at 3 minutes from a second start, and we still have the team Ruminetti with Simone Martini, Martino Goretti, Valentina Rodini, Sophie Sauers, I don't pronounce it the Italian way because it sounds very Dutch to me, and Andrea Riva. A very experienced crew as well. These names,
Martini,
just hearing of them.
Simona Martini is just one of those people who I have the feeling that they were in the coastal community like one of the longest. Martino Goretti, absolutely crazy guy, but such a fun guy. Really love him. Now living in Swiss, training the juniors and also preparing the best athletes in Swiss and preparing them for the national trials next week. But now he's here and racing as well.
An Olympic champion as well from 2020. And 2 minutes to the start. Olympic champion is Valentina Rodini. We still have the Rockets, what a name, with Austria, USA, France and USA. Christy Wagner-Stoffler, Alissa Trebelcock, Louis Fontanilli, Justin Stevens. Quite interesting as well to see how these compositions are made together.
You know, that's where you see how the rowing actually connecting people.
Ventura, which is a crew from Austria, from Viking Bregenz.
Yes, a crew, as I mentioned before, is really from far western part of the Austria. It's a bit more secluded one because the bigger part is more in the east. This one is a bit more in the west, over the mountains. But they have a Bodensee, and in Bodensee you sometimes may have just such a fantastic waves.
And 1 minute to go. Sorry, I'm smiling because I see some of the umpires a little bit struggling there. And the last we mentioned is the Vesper Boat Club. They come all the way from USA. It's the first time they come here as a crew, but Vesper already participated earlier, and they're accompanied by John Kelly. So, are you ready?
I'm ready, and I think that it was so nice they made a Moss false start because it gave just us the opportunity just to talk a bit longer about the people, because you know the very important thing is just to let you know, dear viewer, like who are actually those people are, because some of them you may think, oh well, they're behind, they're nobody, blah blah blah, but there are just, you know, such a high level and such a high level of different possibilities of outcome of this race.
Ooh, look at this, look at the problem here. What is this? There is a crew that is blocked. Stay on it. You saw on the board here, they couldn't start because they were blocked in it, and they're losing time already. Who are they? I'm trying to see the number.
It's Rubinet.
It's
no, it's Team Kangua.
I don't know, I couldn't see it, but wow, this is a bad start for them, because they were, fortunately, nothing is broken, so they can continue.
Yes.
That's already a good point. But yeah, they lost a little bit of time.
Yes, this is it's a Team Rubinetti with Amos Kaiser, Janneke van der Meulen.
Yeah,
and
such an experienced team.
Yeah, but you see, that's exactly what I was talking about, that everything may happen, and even the most experienced and most powerful crew that delivers already such an outstanding performance earlier this day, they still under this pressure, and they may have like these little issues as well.
But it's the second time that there is something with Team Rubinetti. But they come back, huh? We saw it already.
I
they
pretty believe
can
in
come
them.
back.
You know,
they
very
really have
crew.
the stamina to give everything and come back in the race. And we see it, by the way. But what a beautiful sight. Can you imagine anything more beautiful than this?
You can see really the best, I think, from the coastal world. You see this fleet like moving all together, almost all in the same height, and all athletes performing their best with the best background pictures you can ever imagine. I am really in love with this wall of city of Monaco that is just behind. Really, what a scenery.
Yeah, and it is difficult to see who is leading here, but it's already interesting to see that some of the boats who are in the second line, I would say, are trying to find their way to come in front and come and challenge the ones who took the best start here.
Well, we see that there is already an early lead for the if I'm not mistaken, this is legends that are a bit on the top side of leading the pack in the top side of the screen, and in the lower those, if I'm not mistaken, there are for sure like two Filippi teams that are fighting for the second place, followed up by one of the Swift teams.
Yeah, we're going closer there with the drones. It's a Filippi boat, that's for sure. It's two Filippi boats in the lead at the moment that we can recognize. And the names, it will be a little bit more complicated
I think
at the moment.
I think on the right, this is a Team Legends, because I see the headband of Kellogg, sponsor of the Magdalena Lobnik, who is sitting in the stroke seat, and they are already in the number 2 and in the lead. Currently, might be the performance team. I think is on the left.
Yeah, I spoke to the Sinkovic during lunchtime, and they said that they are not that experienced, but Magdalena and Katarina are so experienced that they will rely on them for this race.
I think that is a very
and it's a very wise way of looking at it, but also relying on the cocks
absolutely
to do, because there's nothing between those boats
and
at the
we
moment.
see they are already doing their wave through the first place, and we see how the legends are actually performing right now.
Yeah.
Really fantastic move. They are trying to get first to the first buoy in order to get this early lead and to put them in a very comfortable position for the later development of this course. But don't forget, dear viewers, that this is a race over 6 kilometers, so there is a still very long time to go.
Yeah, and we saw that just quickly, we saw that it's a Philippine Legends, number 35 there, and their speed at a certain moment was 35 kilometers an hour.
Well, I think that this might be certain surf.
Yeah, because they have the wind with them at the moment. It's a tailwind at the moment, but we have 3 boats nearly on the same line. The first stretch is 1,370 kilometers, but then between the buoy 1 and the buoy 2, it's only 160 meters, and then 206 meters. So that will be so interesting. The one who has the most power to get there first will have a good shower. The most power to get there first will have a good chance afterwards.
I think that right now we see how well spread the field is. The team legend, the first 3 crews, they are not really fighting with each other, so they are having a certain respect, let's say, to each other, and they're keeping a respect distance in order not to crash, because they absolutely know and they are aware of this risk, and if they crash, then this race may just all be over for all of them.
And I think it's a Kangua, an orange boat there that was stopped a little bit, so now they have to pick it up, and those boats are quite heavy to pick up. But look, everything goes quite well on this first board, which is not very tough to take. It is a little bit open, but anyway, in such a pack, there is always a way to take it in a good way.
I want to really make a point that the organizing committee just selected the position of the boys absolutely wisely to avoid really very sharp corners at the beginning, where there is a high density of the boats, in order to avoid these possible collisions and, you know, to allow all the participants to deliver their best result without collisions. And at the moment, we see already that one pack is already getting a bit more in front. The pack of 3.
Yeah, with a difference now. There are 2 boat lengths lead for one of them, who could, during the first turn, take a little bit of an advantage. The others are chasing. But yeah, Philippi, it was Swift who was leading at the moment, but Philippi is now very strong in the mixed quad.
Well, you know, they have to build it a bit up because, for example, Team Legend, they had some issues at the beginning of the race. They collided with Team Rubinetti, and they lost their point there. So they are trying to make it and to get in the leading position.
Yeah, and there is already open water and quite good open water between those 3 first boats and the rest of the field, which is very dense at the moment. They are now going towards buoy 3, so it's a 220 meters to get there, and then there will be a long stretch to come back to us. So we will see them closer to us. They will turn here and go back for a second round, because this time it's not 4, but it's 6 kilometers.
You know what? I may think that at the moment is in the lead. I know who they are. That is Karen Flora and Ben Mason, Finn Hamill, and who are right now in the lead. That is a Team Swift. Wait, Team Swift.
Riviera Rockets.
Yes, the Team Riviera Rockets. Because I just, you know how I recognize? I just saw the bun of Caroline Florine. I understood who is actually in the lead.
Yeah, it's easy to recognize
Yeah,
her.
absolutely.
Some of those are really good for us. Huh? They do have whatever we need. But look, they took quite a good lead, about 2 boat lengths. We didn't see them at the beginning.
No,
So they came from a little bit further.
I believe that they were exactly the one crew that was all the time on the same height with Team Legends.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they were just a bit closer to the turning buoy, and that's why the Team Legend, they just had to take a bit wider turn, and that's where they lost some meters. But I believe in Legends. That's why they are Legends.
We just saw them on the screen, this team.
And you know, they're already in the second.
And Philippe Elite in the 3rd position.
With with the legends, but let's say young generation of the legend, because with Gabriel Soares, with Gaia, with absolutely fantastic crew.
Elodie and Davide Mumolo. Yeah, all 4 of them.
Just to remind you that, for example, David Mumolo was participating in the classic rower competitions, and earlier this year in Shanghai in the single scull. Elodie was also there. So all those people are basically very talented, very experienced, and very powerful rowers in general.
And we have the Olympian stroking, this team. So, yeah, she's a single sculler. Single scullers are known for having a good rhythm as well. So it's a little bit normal that she is stroking here. I saw her a little bit earlier, and her forearms are a little bit tense. So she had a kind of a compression thing on her arm. But, yeah, it doesn't seem to bother her too much. And look at this beautiful boat here with these 4 amazing rowers and their cocks, the very young cocks there, Ryan, who is doing a perfect job. He loves the water, he loves the sea, and you can see that he knows how to manage it.
So at the end of the first lap, all the boats are already approaching toward the first finish line of the first lap. They are already on their straight line. Just to remind you, this is the race from 2 laps, so there is still 1 lap to go, and the course is gonna be changed just a bit differently, because there are gonna be a little chicane after the buoy number 2. So it's gonna be very interesting to watch how they move just like a snake through the very narrow corridor of the buoys. And we have still, even after this long stretch, 2 really very long straight lines where the crews and first of all even the quads are able to overtake, because you know the race with all this parkour is absolutely very hard strategically to find the way and find the opportunity to overtake your opponent.
But here it is really crucial to be in a good position to take this buoy number 4, because between 4 and 5 there is not even 100 meters. So you really have to be in front to have open water to avoid any possible crash in this. And this is what the Riviera Rockets are trying to do now, keeping that lead. But I see one of the Philippines, I guess it's the Legends, that are coming back very quickly as well. The distance between the boats is getting smaller because they went away from the 3rd. Very clever move there for that team as well, and a good move for the swift Riviera Rockets, who take the turn here first. 1, 2 that continue rowing, some that are helping. 15 is in the 2nd position. 15 being the Philippine Legends indeed in the 2nd position. And the 3rd, I didn't see the number, did you? So we have here the 1st and the 2nd taking this buoy number 6.
Team Philippi Elite.
And is elite in the third position. Look at this, how beautiful they take this. They're very close to the buoy, but not too close so that they don't crash into it and lose time.
I would say that's where you see the experience of the coxes, because even if you are leading crew, you have to find the way how to be the closest and to how to find the perfect line in order to get this turn right.
And you can see them if you are here on the dig. What a beautiful sight to see all those boats turning here. And they're still quite close because there are many points to take. And it will be really tough to take them. We see the crew from Monaco just turning here in front of us. They're not on the podium yet, so they will have to work hard if they want to continue this list. Oh, there we have two boats that are a little bit together, but no big deal. Ooh, and one who is too close to the board. You see it here.
Yes.
But okay, they just went there. It's good. You see also different techniques to turn.
Well, I would say that this is absolutely very challenging thing to make a turn in the quad really very clean, because on the both sides you might have just really giant ships that are willing to turn as well, same as you, and to find your personal spot is really getting very, very hard.
But how beautiful is this? Look at this. They just go back, and I can imagine that now they start having quite a lot of strength. The legs become a little bit more difficult. I think that's Chiara that I see there.
Yes, this is a crew from Austria.
412. So it is Team Austria with Halama, Ringleb, Wiesinger, Lubitsky and Pellegrini, which is so on the screen, also doing a good race.
And now we are just watching the
Rockets.
The Rockets.
The Rockets, the
Riviera Rockets, who are
Rockets.
still in the lead. They are in very comfortable lead, but you know, the legends are trying to press, because they know if they want to get on the top of this leader table to be able to be the first in the general chart, they have to beat them. Because right now the Riviera Legends, the Riviera Rockets, they're just currently the crew with the most points across the first three events.
Yeah, indeed. And here they are still in the lead. They're going back now to buoy number 6. And then it will be interesting. They will do a little bit of a piff puff, as they say in car racing, to go around. They do counterclockwise and then clockwise on the B7 and then counterclockwise again on B8 before having the long stretch to come back. And that will be one of a little bit more than 1.2 kilometers, but the piff puff will be 170 and 130 meters, so nearly no time to get a line again. You just turn and turn. So there again, the Cox will be really one of the main points.
I would say that this is very similar. The distance between those boys is very similar to the one from the beach sprint, because it's about like 150, 110 meters is absolutely nothing. And the overtaking there is not really possible, no. But where the crews might have to try is actually on the very long straight back.
Number 10 on our screen. This is Team the Rockets with Trebilcock, Fontanilli, Stevens, Wagnershofer and Lea Giordanengo. It's good that we see some of those other crews, because we didn't have time in the solo, the double mixed, and to talk about them. So it's nice to have a little bit of everything, because even though they're not that performing at certain moment, they are also very good crews, because you have to be able to do this, train a lot. Most of these people train at least once a day. What a sight.
And all the crews already approaching to the buoy number 6. Basically, that is the same buoy that it was in the first lap boy number 1. They are having a bit sharper turn this time.
And while we have the 3 in front, you see that for the 4th spot, there is also a little bit of a fight here. A half a boat length between those 2 boats who try, and doing this, they might come back on the leading ones, because if you are leading, you are comfortable, you don't push you push all the time, but you get a little bit in a routine, and yeah, when you see the people coming back, it will give you a push again.
You kind of a bit lose control, like you lose a bit the feeling how far you are in front, and then the crew that are really rageously fighting with each other, they just may have a bit bigger boat speed, and then you're just under stress to try to keep up with them, and this might be exactly the point where then the position change may happen.
And we are here in that kind of a snake, huh? When you see it, they're following each other, the differences are quite large, and they're taking the second, so it's B7, the yellow one that they have done. No problem there for the leading teams. And for the 4th place, it's a little bit open there. There is the orange-red boat there has taken the lead, the 4th position. Last boy to go, which will be a white one, and then we can already see it, and then it will be that long stretch to come back with a headwind, which will also play a role, because your legs are tired. It is, your second race of the day. The conditions are a little bit tough. There are waves. You have to be able to do this. Quite interesting, the last stretch.
There is a difference of about 10 seconds between all these 3 boats, all the 4 or 5. Actually, there is a pretty equal interval between all the first 6 boats, or even 7. And this is not more than 10 seconds, because so on this final stretch, if there is a crew that's gonna find just a bit more power than the opposite one, they gonna make this position change. But it seems now at the moment that the leading crew is Team Swift Riviera Rockets. Just to remind you, with Colin Florine, Finn Hamill, Ben Mason, and Lauren Henry, and coached by Ryan Slatter, followed by Team Filippi Legends, with Valentin Martin Sinkovic, together with Magdalena and Katerina Lobnik, and coached by Sergio. And followed by Team Filippi Elite, with David Mumolo, Gabriel Soares, Elodie Rivera, and
yeah, and we can see these teams. We can see them coming back towards us. There is quite a long difference between some of them. Some are still in the snake, I would call it, on the opposite side there, and they really have to push hard now. I can nearly feel it in my legs looking at the screen how tough it will be. But I look forward to the celebration when they pass the line, because it's such an achievement to be able to do this with a team that never rode together, huh?
Well, that's exactly what makes Challenge Prince Albert just a unique regatta with unique experience, as well for the spectators, as well for the rowers. And the rowers already on the final stretch with a headwind, so this is a very tough long leg what they have to do right now. But it seems that the field already spread out pretty well, so I wouldn't expect that much of the position change at the moment. The most important thing that there is no crew that just decides that the finish line is somewhere else.
Yeah, but here they have a cock, so they see the finish line more clearly. So we will not have, like we have at this morning in the solo and in the mixed double, people trying to find where the finish line was, because it's the same boys, but they moved a little bit. The finish line is smaller than the start line, because it would have been really bizarre to have the 26 boats coming together
Wow.
at the start. Yes, and we needed room and we needed place enough to get the space for all these boats. And I must say we had a clean start,
I
the
would
second
say
one.
also comparable clean start, because there was only one collision on the far right with Team Rubinetti.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's interesting where they're gonna end up.
Yep. And you can see that I have the impression they didn't change their stroke rate from the first to the last one. They're just amazing people, eh?
Well, they have a very solid performance, delivering absolutely fantastic rowing right now. Very long strokes, very powerful one. The waves, they're not really feeling that much of wave of the bumps. There is a slight wave front that they may be confronted by, but it not really walls. Those are the hills. So all those guys who are at the moment in the front, they're very experienced classic rowers, and that is why they are in very good position to finish this race in the top positions.
Yeah, they're good classic rowers, but they're also good coastal rowers for some of them. And they have Ryan as a cox who knows exactly how to handle the waves. Look at this, what a beautiful image here. A few 200 meters, I would say 250 meters, and they will cross the line, the Swift Riviera Rockets. Second place, nothing changed. Third place, neither. So there is not a lot of difference in these, but with the rest of the field, we will see what the position will be, because it will be important as well for the ranking.
I would say for the general ranking, it's going to be very interesting.
A few more strokes, and we will see them celebrating the win in this mixed four quad. Congratulations to the Riviera Rockets, Swift. And they just continue on their way there. It's very nice. They just don't stop. They just continue and enter in the harbor.
Followed by the Felipe Legends crew with Valent and Martin Sinkovic, together with Katarina and Magdalena Lobnik. Really very strong performance by them. We're fighting till the very end. I would say they delivered the best they can. And, you know, I think this is a very decent result. It's going to put them, for sure, some places higher than they are right now in the medal ranking. And followed by the Team Filippi Elite.
Yeah, indeed. They are in the third place. Gabriel Soares, Elodie Ravera Scaramuzino, Gaia Umbra Ciavini, Davide Mummolo, and Alessandro Pichetti Calder. Beautiful third place as well for them here. They're quite close, huh? It's the umpires will again have a tough job here, because you see these boats are nearly crossing together again. So it's gonna be really interesting to see. And we have next to us very happy new Kiwis welcoming their crew to the finish here. We can't turn because of the wind, but really, what a race.
Absolutely fantastic race. As we saw that all of those athletes are very happy, and they perform very well. Like now we see also the team Rubinetti that finished about in 10th after unfortunate start earlier. Just right on the start, they fighted their way through a lot of crews, but unfortunately this first mistake just cost them too much.
Yeah, it was strange, and they were really caught up there. We see the Germans also already crossed the line with number 407. They're entering the harbor now. The harbor, which it's Philippi Turbo with the German blades, and the harbor, which will be the place where the last 50 points will be distributed. And tomorrow it's gonna be a tough racing in the sprints, 500 meters. Can you imagine with all these powerhouses?
Well, as we saw it last year, that there are gonna be just so many changes still happen in the medal ranking just because of these beach, or not beach sprint, just normal sprints. Because after all, we are not sprinting here on the beach, it's just in the harbor, so just water start and finish. It's gonna be really amazing to see all the crews, not only endurance capacities, but also the sprint capacities. And that's what we're gonna experience tomorrow morning.
Yeah, and they will start from 9 o'clock to do time trials, and then we will join you again for the 8th of finals from 10:20 onwards, and there we will have the best crews competing again against each other. Yeah, we remember from last year that it was so close,
so many close
racing, and it's the last one, so they can give it all. Although it's every time a knockout. So while you have to give it all, you need to keep a little bit if you go to the next one. So it's a tricky thing. It's like in beach sprint, actually.
Absolutely, and the format of this racing is just so interesting, and I would say they are very engaging to watch, engaging to participate in, and that's why we hope that all the viewers that we had with us today just to join us tomorrow, because this is gonna be a really hell of a ride.
Indeed, it will be. We see there the Riviera Rockets congratulating each other. Yeah, tonight they will have a little bit of a party, but I guess they will still be quite brave for looking to be ready for tomorrow. And here we have the ranking of this race. So Riviera Rockets 50 points, so that's 6 points again they take ahead of the Philippi Legends. Philippi Elite in the 3rd position, Kangua Wild Racing Galaxy 4th, the Swift Surf Sprinter in the 5th position, the Regatta Rascals from Swift again in the 6th position, Ruby Netti, look, the 7th, with the start they did, it's incredible. Aviron Munegu is 8th, the Coastbuster Germany 9th, Philippi Performance 10th, Rubinetti 11th, Lightboat, and happy for them because of the problems they had today with 16 points here, 12th, the Swift Harbor Hooligans are in the 13th position and still earned 14 points.
I'm quite interested where the Team Turbo was, because somehow I didn't saw them on the list right now.
And we will have a little summary again. That is nice to see. Just in a few images, we see what happened in this race. You see all these boats. What a beautiful sight! I can't get enough of this. With the drone going ahead, and this was the false start. So that was tough. And this is the second start where we see here that they're completely blocked by the buoy, and they came back as we saw in the final ranking.
They made such a great performance. Team Rubinetti, just let's not forget who are sitting in this boat. These are really the powerhouses with a lot of experience, and that's why it's very pity for them that they decided to not to start properly. I mean, it happens. It's nothing bad about it. But nevertheless, I hope that they still enjoyed this way through all the other crews, that they made a really nice fight. For the other crews, it's absolutely fantastic performances we saw all together in course of this race. of course, the Riviera Rockets, who were leading through the whole course of the race, followed up by the Legends. They were trying to get those rockets, but unfortunately, that was just slightly not enough.
Yeah, and I think we should congratulate the organization and the race director for designing such an interesting course as well for these 6 kilometers.
I really loved this time, this difference of the course, that you have 2 laps, because even for the spectators that are right here experiencing those races live and watching from this ponton where we are also sitting, it's just more engaging, and it just gives a bit more interest and a bit more insight in the race. You see how exhausted the faces are, you see how they're stroking, because in the previous racing it was just a bit more further away and you kind of losing connection to the athletes, and that was just a bit sad. But this year it was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, and also the fact that there is the big screen where people can see, and then when they come closer, they can see the people in real, and then they switch back to the screen to follow the action again. I think this is amazing as a setup.
Absolutely. And you know, also for the coaches that are staying here, that they are also trying to support emotionally, mentally, I don't know, to make some dances or whatever to support their team, to kind of put their team in their good karma. They are still always trying, and they are always cheering them up, and always, you know, and the visual representation of performance of their crews is of course the best thing that every coach can ever have.
And look at these beautiful images. We close up on the quai there, but we also see the scenery behind it, and it's just amazing to have this. It's iconic.
Absolutely, you are right. We have here a casino in the background. You see it far away. The Société Nautique du Monaco that is actually accepting us here is really fantastic thing. Really a very nice building, really amazing place to be. Hope everybody